Hello everybody, this is Atomic Zero of Addicted to Loot, and I have for you a brand new video released by Creative Assembly today for Total War Warhammer, and this is a siege battle between Bretonnia and the Vampire Counts. This came along with a press release stating that Bretonnia, even though it will be a presence within the campaign of Total War Warhammer, it is not playable. It's only playable in quick battles as well as multiplayer battles. I'm predicting, even though it hasn't been said, and it's kind of been a big prediction around the forums and within the community, that Bretonnia will probably be the next faction released by the end of the year that Creative Assembly has slotted into their release schedule, which is, their DLC and free LC schedule. With that, I'm going to do a quick little overview of Bretonnia for those who might not know too much about it. It is a kingdom west of the Empire and actually does encompass Athlaloran, which is the Wood Elf kingdom. It is a possession of Bretonnia, however, it is basically believed to be its own independent nation. Bretonnia is ruled by a king, and is composed of 14 dukedoms, which is an awesome word, each ruled by an individual duke. This is very similar to the electoral counts of the Empire. From a religious standpoint, the Fey Enchantress acts as the highest religious figure within Bretonnia and actually has the power to choose a successor for the king and even can exile or impeach a king. It's a kingdom with a high emphasis on class, with a huge hard line between the noble class and the peasant class. We'll get a taste of this within the video, within the unit types, but Bretonnia is known for various knights that make up the backbone of its military force. It is believed that using ranged weapons in war is dishonorable, and only peasants will make up the ranged unit, so this kind of emphasizes the nobility of all the mounted knights within Bretonnia. And with that, we're going to hop right into this. Oh, and I should be said, this is a match between Lionheart of the Total War community, a really great, fantastic YouTuber. Please check him out if you haven't yet. And versus Darren of Creative Assembly.
So we're in.
We are. It's a sunny day in Bretonnia.
It is a sunny day.
It looks lovely.
Fortunate for us.
Indeed. Let's take a quick look around the castle I'm defending.
Okay, it is so nice to see a different settlement layout. I know if you watched my Siege Q&A video, you kind of already know my impressions and thoughts on this. It is on high quality. Just want to make sure that on these layouts. But it is nice to actually see a different one. I mean, this is the second corner map that we've seen so far. The other one being on the Vampire Count, one of the Vampire Count sieges. But as you can see here, it's still pretty small, but you have two actual bands that are joined by two narrow choke points that actually have a slight slope to it. But it is just really nice to see the environment of the settlement, outside the settlement map. I know I say this probably a lot, but the designers and the graphic design of all these Total War maps is really above and beyond what I'd hoped for.
We've got two walls in this corner siege today.
Oh, I do love it.
The towers do look.
And as you can see, like the little tower. The towers are great. The columns and the walls and the actual doors of each of the settlements, or the gates of each settlement, I should say, are so well designed for each individual faction, and it is nice to kind of see some of the diversity of the the texture and the landscaping around it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Waterfalls.
A little bit of like a little moat beginning.
Oh yeah. I've never noticed that before.
Little puddle. But yeah, we've got all the various towers and turrets.
Now, I really wish it's definitely not part of the map, but I would love it if we could actually play along this narrow path or even fall back into a second level with going across this bridge, going in between the two moats. It would just be a gorgeous cinematic battle. However, as we've already seen, the maps will not be getting to that size.
All around.
Statues there.
Chalice she's holding. Have a look.
Lady with a chalice.
Look at the detail. It's absolutely great. I know there's a few minor, graphical glitches and bugs that you might see throughout the video, but Lionheart has stated in his commentary video, which is in addition to the video we're watching right now. He kind of goes back through and does his own take on it. He said that those glitches and those bugs will be taken care of. They might actually already been taken care of, and the ones that aren't will be by the time launch occurs.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Bretonnian guidebook for tourists.
Yeah. Lovely, lovely place to visit. I mean, maybe not today. Don't
No,
visit today.
Don't today. There's lots of vampires.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. So,
Under siege.
yeah.
Okay, so what's your strategy with this army setup? What are you going to do?
Well, I've got lots of archers, but I'm just going to see where Darren's deployed over here. So we're probably going to focus on this side of the wall. I might put a couple of my cavalry units to break out of this gate, sally on round and flank him as he comes forward with those towers.
Trying not to
We'll see what
play
we can get
Battle
up
of
to
Mouse
Pegasus
with them.
Knights as well.
Okay, so the Pegasus Knights. Pegasus Knights are made up of some of the richest nobles, considering the Pegasus mounts can only be found in a very small portion of the Bretonnia kingdom, and they're incredibly expensive to own as well as incredibly expensive to train and very hard to train, so it's a symbol of nobility, class, and honor within Bretonnia.
Look at them.
You might notice the unit cards aren't exactly shown as he's doing his deployment, but they will
Clinging on
pop
for
up
dear life.
later.
I'd be concerned that I'd slide off.
Yeah, I've got a really good like.
But I mean, look
Samples
at
there.
just like look at the detail. I mean, I love it how they they shift within their seats, how the actual flying units aren't stationary. They kind of somewhat hover. We won't unfortunately get to see any of the attack animations or charge animations with these guys, considering it's minus the Fallbats and one of the other vampire count units. We really haven't seen a unit base any flying units that have like a few or even like a major stack of unit types within it. So it's unfortunate that we won't get to see them, but you can see why a little bit into the video.
This is something.
Hopefully
Vog
we
Heights. I
don't
think it's a
sit
Vog
next to
Heights.
your,
That's the one I'm
Pegasus
thinking of.
Yeah, it'd be
Knight.
like Pegasus Training 101. How do you feel about being rocked around in the sky for a
Just
bit?
constantly.
Yeah, just
If the answer isn't fine,
yeah.
then you
There's
can't
no
be
there's
in.
no stabilizers on these.
Get out.
It's the version 1 model.
Bretonnians are very colourful, though.
Yeah,
Very
lots
colourful.
of different kind of heraldry and lots of flaming lances.
Okay,
on
so these guys you see before you, they are the Grail Knights. They're actually a very interesting unit. It's actually they're legendary saints and heroes, blessed with eternal youth, and actually are blessed with a immortal strength. So they're actually stronger than mortal men. The flaming lances you see there, I couldn't find anything within the lore or within my lore research. If anyone knows, please fill me in. But it seemed like that the flaming lance was really just a bonus equipment that you could add to the units within the tabletop.
the Grail Knights here. Wonderful. And we've got the mounted yeoman archers. Pretty good, but they're like kind of full surcoats.
So these guys would make up some of the peasant class. I mean, these yeoman archers are actually probably some of the highest ranking peasants, considering within the feudal state of Bretonnia, it's really hard for a peasant to even get enough money to be in an army or even have enough honor to be in an army. So a peasant that's on a horse with armor is pretty high off.
Nice. Let's have a look at Leoncoeur himself.
Actually, he's called
Leon Kerr
Lionheart in
is
this.
the acting king of Bretonnia.
He is called Lionheart because he's defaulted to my name that I've chosen. Flaming sword. Absolutely fantastic moustache and little goatee there.
That's some excellent and very in facial hair, I would
Yeah,
say.
he's got like waxy ends there. He's on point. His
Yeah.
moustache game is on point.
Every day. I mean, before a battle, you've got to wax your moustache.
Oh yeah, I'll get it out.
I have that.
Don't have like a
Wonky.
cutbearer, you have like a moustache wax bearer.
Yeah, precisely. Look at his lion shoulders as well.
That's it.
How appropriate.
I mean, I
This is-
do
this
love
is just made
all
for
the
me,
little.
really, isn't it?
I mean, kind of.
There we go.
Just
I've
in
got
the
my
sake of
paladin
time,
there, who's also got a flame.
I'll let them talk, but I'm going to try to talk over them. They have a few more heroes, including this Damsel. The Damsel is actually they're literally called a damsel within the cult of the Lady of the Lake, which is the religion within Bretonnia. Any child within Bretonnia that has a gift for magic at a young age will be taken and kind of put into their school of magic. Some people actually try to send their kids outside to the Empire to kind of get around the Bretonnian process and actually let them become wizards or scientists over in the Empire.
And then I've got my Damsel, who doesn't have anything on fire, but
Nothing on fire.
she can use some thunderbolts and other various spells.
The differences between Bretonnia and the Empire, I mean, look at the details within the unit cards. I know there's some graphical stuff within the mouths of each one of the units, and he's really just kind of talking through the lore wheel here, which is the lore of light. They actually are said to also be able to do the lore of the beast. I don't know if that's going to be possible within Total War Warhammer, but that is another option.
And a wind blast.
Awesome.
Right.
She looks pretty amped for battle.
Just looks ready for it. Let's get these guys up on the walls now. Get my archers here. And I'm just going to pop them, spread them out a little bit. I have to. Oh, it's because they're not in loose group formation. There we go. There we go. Spread the walls a little bit. If I move them along. There we go. You want to put some spearmen behind them. Just going to spread them around the walls a little bit because they've got.
I really do love it, as you can kind of tell there, getting the spearmen behind them. I do love what Creative Assembly did with, or Creative Assembly, I keep on saying Creative Assembly, what Sega did with the walls within Total War Warhammer. The extended wall, meaning that you can actually have 2 units deep within the wall. So actually being able to have your range units up front, any type of reinforcing spear or melee troop behind them, it makes it really quick, as well as, does allow you to have a much deeper fight for the top of the walls. But I do like the fact that you can instantly kind of pull your units right off the wall, considering they don't have to go down a ladder. They can basically just jump off the wall, which I kind of have issues with, but oh well. So it is really cool that you can just swap out your lines real quick, plop your archers down on the base layer as you're holding your opponent up top. However, the old days of being able to pin a unit up on the wall and then flank them from below, I'm not sure if that's going to be doable within this game, considering that people could really just toggle whoever's up on the wall down and they can just rush your archer. So I don't know if that's going to be a fitting defense anymore.
Quite a few flyers and some Fallbats there, which I want to take down. Uh-oh. Spotted a nasty back here.
Darren!
That's very rude. Terror.
Oh, the Terrorgeist. This thing is, pardon the pun, an absolute beast within this battle. And if he functions even close to this way within the full release, if you can get to the level where you can have one of these damn guys in your army, oh my god, watch out, because he absolutely wrecks. So we'll talk more about him a little bit later.
Geist. With, I think, some little skulls are attached to his rotting flesh.
And as always, it's absolutely
his
just
tendons.
gorgeous.
Oh, put some clothes on, man. That's nasty. That's nasty. He's got all sorts of nasties, and they'll take a look at them in a bit. Just grab my spears. Right, and then we're going to pop them behind my archers.
Is this to kind of swap them out with the towers?
Yeah, swap them out with the towers if I've kind of got time and I can pull them down, I think. But if not, then I'll just kind of try and hold the enemy up there. I think, as mentioned earlier, I'm going to pop my Grail Knights and my Knights of the Realm together and flank out of this gate here.
Yeah.
I might, I might even bring the mounted yeoman archers out as well to kind of like skirmish a little bit. And I'm going to keep the Pegasus Knights back here. I'm not sure if I want to engage against those Fellbats, but we'll see. I'm just going to grab all these guys over here. I'm gonna risk leaving this side completely exposed. Obviously,
One thing that kind of annoys me, I'm kind of pointing out now, it's not super in view. Hold on, let me adjust that a slight bit. Okay, well, I love how this tiny, like literally a quarter of this map is the actual settlement here. I know this is probably all for deployment purposes for the attacker, but it's just absolutely funny to see the scale difference in here. It actually, I mean, it really reflects the point I was trying to make in my last video about, how different these siege battles are compared to like the forest and pitch battles.
got my Grail Knights and what have you coming out of there, but we'll leave.
What about the trebuchets?
Yeah, we're going to deploy them back a little bit over here, so they've got enough range, I think, to fire.
To arc over.
To arc over the wall, yeah. Although, I guess maybe we can pop one of them over here as well. There we go.
Yeah.
Then we might be able to get over the wall This
I
side,
do
back to
love.
the
I mean,
world
I know they kind of have solved it since. Well, like they made it with 2 days or anything else, but I just love how fluid the deployment within the settlement is. I mean, basically being able to deploy the trebuchets or any type of siege equipment with this much ease within the settlement with the narrow shooting arc.
Make room in the streets for the trebuchet. Yeah, so we can probably angle up all the towers. So that's good there. Just group them up. And then it's time to deploy the Damsel, which I'm going to pop her on the wall somewhere. I just need to find a spot for her. Ah, there we go, there's a spot. And let's pop the Paladin up here as well, because he can do a lot of damage. We're going to have Leoncoeur by the gate here with these 2 units of Polearms.
Now this is one thing, he doesn't actually toggle it or anything else, and I'm not even sure if they have the capability, but I'm curious if Polearms or Spears will have the ability to form Spear Wall. He puts them in guard mode, but it does actually toggle a Spear Wall mode, and it doesn't look like they have a Spear Wall.
Guard mode with them. And then we leave these Polearms to the side, and each one in case... Well, Darren's only got 3 towers actually, so I'm
just extending the window there,
over here
so we can actually see all the little buttons around here.
Kind of come off the wall there, and then I can kind of meet them.
Might actually dilute down some of the stuff I want to show, but hey, I figured I'd try to give you everything on the screen.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Bring it on, Darren.
So I'm probably going to take some points from Lionheart's commentary video.
Darren.
Just to kind of tell him,
He's not in
at
the
least
room
state
with
him
us,
on
you know.
here, because he has made some pretty good
elsewhere.
points that I would like to share.
Right, start firing, but I'm going to get my knights out of here as soon as possible. My trebuchets are about to start firing. Yeah, looks like they're getting ready. Loading up, but in come those Fallbats.
This is a pretty cool strategy that Darren informed him about post-battle. If you are the vampire count and you have these Fallbats, if you advance them ahead of your line and basically just leave them like right in front of the towers, the towers as well as the archers on the wall, unless commanded otherwise, will just sit there and soak and just drain their ammo into them. So the rest of your army can almost advance completely unscathed, which is a great tip if you're going to be a vampire count player.
Although we're absolutely tearing this unit down already. There we go. He's marching on in with his full army. I'm not going to. And you can,
as always, you can take out the arrow trails.
Take a look at their stats. Pretty darn good.
Finally gets unit cards up.
Pretty darn good. That's the Yeoman Archers. There we go. Pegasus Knights. 79 leadership.
And the speed's insane because they're flying. Weapon strength is pretty good. Armor and shield and anti-infantry.
I think he's probably just left them there as he's trying to move forward. But he's bringing forward his Crypt Horrors, but we're doing quite a lot of damage to them as they get to the gates.
It is kind of cool that those monstrous units can break down the gates.
Get wrecked.
That is a great function. Not sure.
They come. Oh, they're going after.
There would be options
nasty bats
to make or deploy battering rams, but it is kind of cool that you can take in monstrous units.
It's not working. They're not saying.
These Pegasus units are doing nothing to these Fallbats.
Augmented against, or
and then they just start melting when this
no.
comes in.
Their
Look at this destruction. This is just unfair.
Terrorgeist.
Oh god.
Oh no, pretty little Pegasus. Oh, he just like clipped it with his claw. Oh, that's not cool. Oh, he's wiping them all out.
He literally just, like in a few flaps, completely destroyed a unit.
So rude.
Matters seconds.
Carcasses on the floor now.
Look at the beautiful wings. Right. Oh, what have we got here? Black Knights.
No.
Bring it on.
And the coach.
Bring it on. Bring it on, Darren.
You are not afraid.
I'll raise you your Black Knights and give you Grail Knights.
Boom.
Oh, slammed in there.
As you can see there,
neither one of you was shifting.
you really do. I mean, it could just be since it's cav on cav, but you do lose kind of that charge impact animation, like when units go flying. But you do kind of see the clashing of the lines, the forcing of the units, but you do kind of miss the real impact of the cav unit.
But
that is nice.
with all this going on, I've forgotten to move my archers back off the walls because I was trying to. I'm sorry, there's lots going on.
His micro in this match is absolutely terrible, but I'll chalk that up to the fact that he's trying to commentate.
Well, it's fine then.
It's all good. Right, these guys are coming in here, and I want to zap them.
Now, trying to target with spells, as you can see right about here, that's going to be a pain if it's just going to keep on dancing like that.
Oh, that's the,
It
that's
says they're
what
always
I'm
going to
saying,
target the
okay.
center of the unit, especially when
Ah.
their units are rushing into a gate or just clumping together.
Here we go. Let's watch some lightning.
Especially considering these warrior tech spells, as you're about to see, love to travel in their own paths. So if you would have targeted one of the units in the middle, one on the other side, he probably could have got a lot more out of that
What's
spell.
going on here? Let's pop all my augments on Leonker. Send him in. Oh, slamming on in. That's
So
it.
a nice, juicy Crypt Horrors close-up. That's it, right in there.
Oh!
Oh, I mean, look at this. He literally just dove onto the guy's chest and just ended him with a finishing move. This reminds me very much of the good old days of Dragon Age 1 when you're fighting an ogre and you can take him down by basically doing the same exact move.
Get down with his sword! Oh, look at that! Boom through and stabbed
He
him!
leapt in
That's
the
insane! Nice! Absolute beast. Well, I don't expect nothing less than the character.
Well, absolutely. That was,
This
that
this
was
battle
excellent
turns
timing.
so quickly in so many different ways. So that will be one of the
Meanwhile,
exciting
what's
things
happening
about
to my
Total
cab?
War
Oh, it's
Warhammer.
reforming. Oh, dear,
All
what's
these
it?
different types of
War
unit
mode. Oh,
comps,
terror
all the
guys.
spells,
There, Darren.
all the
And
different
Manfred
monstrous
slash
units.
Darren.
They can really
Danfred.
change the flow of a battle real
This is
quick.
Danfred. It's called Darren. Oh, that's not cool, Darren. Okay, you want to go for one last charge? Bring it, mate. Right, I'm gonna sally out from the gate here. The Fallbats are still on us.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they're,
dear.
I mean, they're expendable units as well, so I don't think they're going to do too much to you. You're
don't know.
doing better?
It's pretty even right now. He's really hitting me hard. We're trying to hold him at the gate here. There's my lass here. Let's whack one of these on top of them all. Paladin's in there. Maybe see if we can move him out. Run, dude. You're about to get crispy with lightning.
Crispy with lightning.
Oh,
Right.
good God. No, it's fine.
One
you're fine, you're
thing
fine.
that I would like to
All good.
keep going.
Just
Would like to point
Friendly
out is
lightning. It's just a bit
I don't know how much
of
impact
fire.
they have, but all these toggle activate abilities of the heroes. I mean, at least the ones for Bretonnia, the ones in this battle, they have extremely short cooldown. So if you microed, you could basically get off the entire set of buffs and debuffs
I think there's a lot more of mine
on almost
now.
every single unit. So I feel like if you could just basically cycle through all your hero cards, you'd be able to do it real quick. Especially considering his spellcaster would have had such a huge impact in this battle. If he would have actually toggled his buff to the Winds of Magic, he probably could have got off a spell or two more, which could have easily changed this map, or changed this battle.
These spears involved over here. What's my paladin doing? He's doing okay.
Yeah.
Throw up his augments again. Deadly Onslaught. And Foe Seeker. He's up against Grave Guard with
And
great
as
weapons,
always,
so
the heroes do have AoE
I
attacks.
mean, with Foe Seeker as well, it recharges while he's in combat.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he's got a flaming sword. So
he can at least keep them occupied. How's his health doing?
his
Oh, it's
health,
half.
he's heading towards half, but he's okay. He's okay
And
for now. We're taking
We're
out
gonna
the
see
Spellbats
pretty
finally.
soon. Oh, the Fellbats are going
Is
down.
that with your
But we're gonna see
Maybe.
real soon. Come on, this is one of the different things is that since the vampire counts did possess these towers now, they actually are shooting at
Crypt Horrors are pretty weak.
Lionheart's
So we
units
can't throw them
now.
up over here and
However,
really
they will
try.
not shoot the other
Yeah,
direction.
he's
They will
piling
only shoot
more and
out.
more troops up onto the walls, try and break me here. Oh dear, he's not looking happy, the paladin. Oh, the Terrorgeist is down here. Let's just jump everything on it. Leon Kerr, get in there, mate. I need another jump on him.
Every one of them.
Everyone, all the jumps. We're being held up by zombies. No, the zombies. Oh,
That's the-
oh god, there's
he's
fireworks
losing
going
a
on.
There is
ton
fireworks
of
going
units
on.
to these
He's captured the
towers.
tower.
Oh no.
Like he lost basically a whole
The towers are
cav
fire
unit there.
outwards towards me. We're going in for a charge. Here we go. Boom, that went up against the black coach a little bit.
Well, I mean, hopefully it should kind of.
Ooh,
It's
Crypt
going
Horror's
down.
going down. Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm trying to
Black
see if
Coach
I
is
can
down.
get the Black Coach's unit card. I'm just curious to see what its
That's
purpose is, because I
I'm
did
on
mention
phone.
before that early in this battle that it helps boost the charge bonus, but I would really think that it's more than that.
Let's get him in there. Oh, the paladin is not looking happy. Just keep
Come on,
popping.
you have to get
abilities.
Lionheart versus Darren.
Yeah,
Get
where,
it in there.
where is Darren?
He's there. He's right there. Get him in. No, not
It is
there.
pretty cool that you can
Not there.
rename even the legendary
There he is.
heroes within this, because that does
Kill it.
give a
Bring it on, mate.
better RPG feel to the game.
Popping everything I've got.
This is the best showdown. Just like, come on.
For 12.
What is it?
Quite impressive. Oh, we're against a vampire over here as well.
Well,
articulate. Oh, my paladin's broken. And then comes the Terrorgeist again.
4 units so far breaking, but they're in the same group, so
They are in the same group.
the rest of your army is doing quite well.
Desperately trying to hold. Bring my archers back in. Hit the Terrorgeist every time. It is insanely strong. How can you kill the undead?
That's one thing. I mean, now that the Fallbats are taken care of, his trebuchets are starting to fire, but it kind of is a little, too little, too late. But this Terrorgeist, I mean, with its mobility and with its absolute insane stats, it could just bounce around the map doing whatever the hell it wants. I mean, it could take out a siege unit, it could go over, take out an archer unit, all pretty quick. So it's, and the sad part is you can't even hold him down. I mean, there's no way to tie this thing up. I mean, he instantly just flies in and out of combat. So there's no way to protect all your units at any one time. So if you can just micro your Terrorgeist in of itself, it is basically almost unstoppable. Which almost leads into the fact of I can see why siege battles will go so much shorter comparatively, because there will be no more grinding to get through a wall of units anymore, especially at a choke point. It's just going to be take your Terrorgeist, throw them into the defense line, and there you go, no more grinding, and that's it, which is probably the reason why you're going to get more of an arcadey siege battle.
Uh-oh. Where's Liam Kerr gone?
Is he still? What are you doing over there?
Dude, get out the gate! There's zombies to kill. Paladin is not a happy bunny. Desperately trying to hold off the zombie hordes. Oh no, I think he's breaking me.
About zombie hordes.
It's amazing that the zombies even lasted this long with their deplorable stat line. I feel like even if they were just being used as fodder to push through, they should have basically crumbled.
He's so close. I have slightly more troops just. Somehow.
And look, I mean, the Terrorgeist is barely even dinged. That's just insane. That's how much attention it's been getting.
Come on. Get you guys off the walls. Liam Kerr. The fight's not over yet.
Find Darren.
He's going to go into first person here, which is very, very, very fruitless. Especially if you can watch the Terrorgeist come in and instantly just destroy your siege equipment. But it is still pretty cool that you can do the first person view on most of the siege equipment. You can even do it in some of the individual units. Makes cab charges look epic. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, right now, Lionheart has a huge flanking position with his archers. I see they will show it, but this Terrorgeist is just going to completely fly up over this entire stack of units and just go straight into the archers. So what can you do against that? The best you can do is make the most out of your units before the Terrorgeist gets to them. Instead of trying to hold them up, I'm just gonna, I don't like being hit by arrows anymore, so let's go. I do love the fact that this like machine gun fire trying to take down a jet plane. And there they go. And the archers are now completely useless.
I know, I'm running out. I'm slowly recharging one power every 40 seconons, but we need a lot.
Yeah, the winds of magic on this map, very, very slow recharge.
Well, that's if I can get away from all these zombies that really want to eat me. Troops have rallied back here a little bit. Get the paladin in. Arcane conduit. Help me.
And I will say, this battle doesn't have too much longer to go, as you can see. It's slowly starting to wind down. The units are pretty depleted at this point. As short as siege battles are, which, I'm still more of a longer duration siege battle person, they are fun to watch, and I do think that they'll be fun to be a part of. They are, far more action oriented, far faster pace. So I think it will kind of make up for it, because I've been thinking about this, especially after seeing this video of Total War Warhammer is almost basically the arcade version of a historical Total War title. I mean, it's you know shorter durations, far more animations,
Just firing.
more detail within the unit types. You know, the magic, all the different toggles, different types of equipment. It very much is the
Darren,
big budget
fight me with
action
honor.
flick of Total War,
Coward.
What is this?
which
Look at
I
this.
think it is a different
This is
experience. It's a different type of play
Honor
style.
School 101 right here.
But I still think it will yield some pretty epic experiences with the game. So
Darren's playing
I'm
dirty.
feeling slightly better about it, especially considering I think this game will be far more field battle oriented versus siege oriented. At least you can see the detail in all the various different siege forest maps and like field maps
Straight in his face.
compared to the siege maps. I mean, the siege maps are extremely basic, as you can tell, while all the field battles have so many different types of elevation changes, different forests, different types of bodies of water, different ways to travel around the map, different ways of entry, especially within the story mission. So I think they're trying to, or my take is that the emphasis will go from siege battles to field battles.
Come on, break them. Oh, that looked impressive.
Yeah, they do a lot of work there, but it's definitely too little too late.
I'll pull them back and go for another charge.
There's a lot of units in that crumbling now.
Yeah.
Which is definitely helpful.
Even this is worried. The Terrorgeist is on weak binding.
So have we got Leoncoeur and Manfred actually killing each other now, or is he still trying to run away from you?
He's in there. Darren's in there against me. He's trying to go for me. So I think he knows to break the rest of my forces' morale. He's going to have to do the same to me.
So which will win?
I don't know. This Terrorgeist is still able to change the tide if I'm not careful.
You can he looks like he has a decent amount of reserves considering what's coming up that back flank, but it's just amazing how quick everything turns.
One left.
Pop them. Oh no, he's broken Leoncoeur.
No.
He might just be able to get me here. Is Leoncoeur broken?
No.
Damsel over here. Slowly being chased by the Terrorgeist. Yeah. Fucking conduit. Come on.
And you can see within the balance bar up top, if I stop moving my cursor around,
That's the Thunderbolt. I want to get the chain light.
it just slowly but surely just ticks down. It's amazing how quickly the morale of the troops break. Look at that. I mean, it's almost instantaneous.
Just the trebuchets left.
Almost everything instantly goes. I mean, it was definitely a fun battle to watch. I mean, I'm looking forward to the types of battles that can occur within Total War Warhammer, especially with different types of layouts. Even though how basic they are, probably isn't going to be anything I would say breathtaking or new. But we'll just look at this real quick. So he had about just about 500 more troops, had a ton more losses. Yeah, Lionheart had a lot more troops remaining. However, Therian, just with pure morale breakage, was able to overcome almost 400 troop differential, and I think almost all of it was because of that Terrorgeist. Man, I am excited to play the Vampire Counts. I'm slowly leaning towards them as my main faction, even though it's still a debate right now, personally, going through a lot of internal turmoil for this. However, I hope you enjoy this battle, and I hope you've enjoyed my little talking points throughout it. If you have anything to add, anything to discuss, anything to debate, or any just fact checking that I might have got wrong, or any little thing I might have missed, please leave it down in my video comments or within the comments on my Reddit link. But until then, I have been Atomic Zero of Addicted to Loot. Please join me again.